hello. Church Nelly. Oh, welcome to Real Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Church Nelly, 23 months as I live and breathe. Or do I wheeze? As I live and wheeze. Okay, and Lorna Williams, you were here first. Outstanding. Hello to Sonia Johnson and who else is here? Okay, put that up there. Fancy. Joy Moore and Kim Harris, welcome. And Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer, welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll all the way to the very last. All right. Okay, so we're good to go. Mars 5004. Okay, very good. Lottie, Marvin Cotto, welcome. Okay, let's get on with it. Try to get you out of here in an hour. How about that? So, Sinead O'Connor, as it is, as life goes, we start learning more about people, and we have a greater appreciation for people when they're gone. That's just life, isn't it? That's just life. It reminds us to treat people as valuable and special and important day after day, because you just never know, right? I saw the video that she made about 10 days ago. She looks so normal. Well, normal for Sinead O'Connor. Rohini, what's that you say there? I get jealous the way Barron says, Connie Balmer! Name. I know it screams Connie Balmer. I don't know what else to say. I see her name and it just screams Connie Balmer. Okay, so I redacted the tweet. Yes, okay. I redacted. Was this a tweet or an email? I guess this was an email. I redacted it because I didn't want to offend anyone. And even though it seems like I'm just this raucous individual, I'm a little bit of a square, easily embarrassed. Like sometimes when I'm listening to spaces and they start talking about places and spaces, if you get what I mean, or what they would like to do in those places and spaces with other people, I get a little bit embarrassed and I'm just like, oh, okay, I got to go. So I am very easily embarrassed. I really am such a square. So right here, Sinead O'Connor sends a message care of Carrie Hutton at the News whatever UK for Piers. Hi Piers, I think it's best I don't do your show because of the irresistible temptation I would have to point out that you're dying to be with Meghan Markle so bad it's driving you crazy, and that your dislike of Prince Harry is down to his being with Meghan, of course, 10 times a day, is being the case that if you were even, it being the case that if you were even to get near her, which would never happen, you'd last 10 seconds, and that would be that for 10 days. Sincerely, Sinead O'Connor. So as you can see, I very carefully redacted parts that would have been embarrassing for me to say. Okay, Church Nelly, if that's what you think is behind my redacted, I'm not saying yay or nay. But I would be too embarrassed to say it. I'm blushing right now. That's how embarrassed I would be to actually say something like that. But if that is what was said, right? But it gave me a new profound respect for Sinead O'Connor. And here you can see another one. You are nothing but a, oh yeah, You are nothing but a crawling, sliming little gutter maggot. P.S. The only thing your paper is any good for is wiping my behind. Sinead O'Connor, letter to Pierce Morgan, December 1994. What could I say? The way she describes situations, places, people, and things, it's almost like listening to Olivier quote Hamlet, isn't it? It's done with the same finesse, the same rhythm as Sir Laurence Olivier quoting Hamlet. How beautiful. One of the great wordsmiths of our time, right? And of course, we did reach out to Pierce Morgan for comment, and all we got was just a little like hog-like grunt, and that was about it. Just a little, and that was about it. We couldn't get much else out of him, so she said what she said. Now, hopefully, I did this right. Uh, oh wait. Uh, oh yes. I did. Okay. Hey VS, VS is here, y'all. Um, Court latest: Prince Harry has been granted permission to take part of his lawsuit against the publisher of The Sun to trial. The decision made at London High Court this morning means the Duke of Sussex can proceed with allegations of unlawful information gathering and the illegal use of private investigators from the mid 1990s all the way up to 2016. That's 20 years of that nonsense. Mr. Justice Fancourt, however, refused to allow Harry to bring phone hacking claims forward due to allegations being made too late. The judge said the Duke can amend his case to rely on a secret agreement. I'm sorry, can't amend his case to rely upon a secret agreement between Buckingham Palace and news group newspaper executives. Prince Harry's lawsuit against the Sun publishers can go to trial, says this other, thing here. And of course, same thing. High Court has ruled yes, is to go ahead. All right, and then over here it says judge allows Prince Harry's snooping lawsuit against publisher of the Sun tabloid to go to trial. Well, I like that. It is a snooping lawsuit, to put it politely. And again, it says Prince Harry lawsuit accusing the publisher of the Sun tabloid of unlawful snooping on him to go to trial, but not on allegations of phone hacking or including a claim that newspaper executives made a secret settlement pact with the royal family, a court judge ruled Thursday. So this kind of caught everybody off guard. Nobody was expecting this. Nobody. And of course, there's always that rogue network, which I'll share that in a minute, that's in such a hurry to try try to, uh, well, anyway, I'll show you. So there it is right there in the High Court of Justice, Business and Property Court of England and Wales, business lists, whatever. Mr. Justice Fancourt, let's see, that's who's before. Oh, and then it says the Duke of Sussex, the Group Newspaper Limited, blah, 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 blah. Approved judgment. There you go. It says approved judgment. That means that Harry is going to go back in court. Now, there were some people who believed that Harry did not make much of a case. We know that that is rubbish. And of course, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. So I believe someone said we should celebrate this moment, right? I agree. Hello, Ivy here. Hello, Ivy. Girl, the Duchess of Sussex won. Meet me at the Royal Sussex party. George Nelly's gonna be there. All right, Ivy out. You know what? I have not come down from my high yet. As you know, the Sussexes just keep winning and winning and winning. Or as Medea would say, winting and winting and winting. So that's because God is on their side. There's a higher power. Elaine Parker. Hi, Elaine Parker. I didn't know you were here. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, very nice. And hello to everyone who just joined us. Okay, so now, as I said, that network, that rogue network, is always in such a rush to try to find a way to embarrass or degrade the Sussexes. And then on occasion, it just backfires. It really, really backfires, just like it did today. You got to hear this. You got to hear it.
That they could tell him things. Well, he's going to need a lot more evidence than he had before, by the sounds of it, because the last time he was there, he actually one point said that he was hoping that they could tell him things. In your view, then, sorry, go on.
I think that's a bit. I'm not sure that's quite fair.
You don't think that's fair?
I mean, he has submitted. He has submitted a lot of evidence, and if the submissions by the newspaper that effectively hadn't submitted evidence were correct, then the judge would have chucked the claim out. But the reason he hasn't chucked the claim out is that he thinks there's plenty enough evidence that's been produced by Prince Harry to let the claim go forward. So the issue of whether he has a decent set of evidence has been determined by the fact that the claim will go to trial.
Okay, so interesting. So this could be quite serious for NGN. Could this be a serious, could it cost them millions? Is that what they could be looking at?
This has never been about the money. I'm quite sure that Prince Harry will have already been offered a vast sum of money in settlement, which of course his brother has accepted. And now that he's fought his way through to a trial, he'll be, I'm sure, offered yet more money. But he's made it clear this is a matter not of money, but of principle. That he feels, and as someone who has acted for a lot of people who've been the wrong end of newspaper wickedness, he feels that the newspapers need to be held to account. That was always his intention. He's going to be able to do that at a trial. And speaking for myself, I think he's shown immense courage in deciding to take on one of the most powerful organizations, not only in this country, one of the most powerful organizations in the world.
Well, we await this with bated breath, Jonathan. Thank you very much.
Well. Did Nana, yes, this is my hair, Hakuna Matata. Did Nana Hakuna Matata get disappointed? Was she feeling let down? Did someone let all of the wind out of her locks? What happened, Nana? Where's that usual cocky, breathy, exhausted tone of yours? What happened, Nana? Nana sounds a bit let down. This guy said it very clearly. It was never really about money. And Nana was like, we shall see. Yeah, she was so disappointed. Don't you vet these people before you put them on air? Did you not know that he wasn't going to just walk lockstep with the rest of your lot? No. Khalil Sumalane, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Hey, Big Mama. So it looks like Nana got home, and in a fit of rage, she snatched that weave, that hair, that party hat off of her head, and just started swinging it to and fro. It looks like she just went home in a fit of rage and discontent, as though she was incandescent with rage, and she just took that wig and just shook it and shook it and shook it like a Rottweiler, just shook it like one of those alligators. You bite it and just roll and twist and do the death spiral. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. Yes, it's I haven't seen anything like it since Wild Kingdom. It's like a bird of prey has swooped down and grabbed something out of a cornfield and just started shaking it until it was limp. That's how upset she was when this guy just could not seem to go along with the little narrative that she has about, whoa, how bad things are for Jenny Rock Bailey. How did I miss that? A super sticker, right? Thank you so much for that, Jenny Rock Bailey. How did I? Oh, there we are. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. And thank you also for being a member of Royal Sussex. So she was so upset, you see, that she just went home and she snatched that party hat off and just started swinging it in that very husky voice of hers. I don't believe it. I'm sure she was making so much noise, someone probably thought it was someone in there with her. Is there anybody in there with her? It sounds like there's some dude in there. Oh, Lord. Oh, well. She'll get over it. Yeah, I think she did not vet her guests very well, and he wasn't with the program. And of course, well, we shall see. You know, we'll see. Okay, I guess we shall see. And yeah, that was it. And she was just in a fit of rage when she left the studio. Joy Amore, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. I mean, by the time she gets through swinging that hair around, it's going to look like a silk press, right? When she gets done, that hair is going to look like a silk press. Oh, oh well. Poor Nana didn't exactly go the way she expected. So take a look here. Byline investigates. Now, this article is from June 5th, 2020. Royal exclusive: Prince Harry's legal move over cash for briefing claims at The Sun, the story Murdoch tried to bury. Now, is all of this going to come out in Discovery, pray tell? It was never only about phone hacking. The Sun committed all manner of crimes to steal private information about Prince Harry, including paying bribes to the palace adjacent, meaning the people that work at the palace, the people close to the palace. And of course, all of this allegedly, because we don't know for sure, but Prince Harry is threatening to sue the Sun newspaper, alleging it paid the partner of a royal aide for sensitive briefing. Top editor Dan Wooten is named in the legal challenge, which has developed from new whistleblower information. Wooten, this is from 2020 now, June 5th, 2020. Wooten and publisher of the News UK have vowed to sue this website if we report on a letter before action setting out allegations by the Duke of Sussex, which they both deny. But we declined to be bowed by, or is it bowed? No, to be bowed by legal threats. I'm sorry, from billionaire news oligarchs and highly paid celebrity journalists for doing our job. Right. So I guess when they say that, they mean Murdoch, the billionaire oligarch. So it says here, Byline investigates this defying threat of legal action. I'm sorry, not defying threat of legal action from Rupert Murdoch, the Sun, today to report explosive whistleblower claims that the tabloid paid the partner of a royal official £4,000 for stories about Prince Harry last year. So this has been brewing, you guys. Well, we know it's been brewing, but it's been brewing. And look at some of the headlines. Now, these headlines, this collage of headlines is included in that 2020 article. Now, June 2020, we were in the early days of the global pandemic, right? Exclusive nanny, whatever that is, Mc3, Meghan Markle and Prince. Oh, nanny Mc3. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry get through 3 nannies in 6 weeks for baby Archie. Now, it should be confidential information, and yet it has been reported in the papers. We're ORF again. Prince Harry and Meghan, Canada. Okay, on the road. I don't know what that means, ORF. But for 2020, ditched the HRH titles after feeling something, it says there, sidelined by the royals. So all of that stuff, all of those headlines that kept popping up week after week, day after day, it has been alleged that a palace insider, well, we kind of knew that already, but it's been alleged that a palace insider has been paid. Hello, BJ says, I read an article today that was talking about his court. They also said that Harry speaks to his father regularly. That would be interesting, you know, and if that is the case, if it is leaked, we could only imagine where that would have come from. We can only imagine. But remember, if we don't hear it from the Sussexes, we don't hear it from the Sussexes. Oh, that's for someone else. Is this stuff part of the suit? Please let it be. Well, you know what? Is it Mitchell Breathwaite? From what I hear is that phone hacking is not the important part about the case against the Sun. So I am going to assume that this is part of what's going to come out in the discovery process. Harry is going to get on the record some of the things that he has been alleging for a long time. But of course, pending the court date, he definitely could not speak about it. But if it is part of it, all shall be known very soon. Let's see. Dansby1 says, Baron, please say a prayer for B10 Pal. She just lost her sister, and oh my goodness, that is awful. Let me see. Earlier, she says she won't be in the comments for a while. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Thanks for sharing that. I had no idea. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to do another card for her. My goodness, but yeah, thanks for sharing. I had no idea. Poor B10. What a lot to go through. What a lot to go through. Cookies and Cream says the unroyal family affiliated. Let's see here. DM, that's the initials. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I got my ringer off. I just happened to see my phone light up. But thank you so much for the Cash App. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Let's see. The unroyal family's affiliation with Danita Wooten, Murdoch, and racist British press needs to be put all over social media to let it trend for as long as possible. Everyone needs to know what's going on. That's so true. And there are some warriors out there, and you guys know who you are, who have been pushing this through the social media um, for what the past has it been like 8 days, 10 days. Keep up the good work, and thank you for fighting a good fight. Oh my goodness, poor B10. Yeah, thanks, Lydia. That is a lot. I sure hope that there's someone with her that can help her with this stuff. Help her, deal with everything because it's a lot. It is a lot. I had to redact this one as well. There's a chance that a recent Dan Wooten story having come as a complete surprise to the big cheese at News UK. Last year, the Sun threw a party to celebrate 40 years of the Bizarre Showbiz column, inviting all its former stalwart and editors to a big fancy cocktail bash. The turnout was impressive, but one former editor, Gordon Smart, was notably absent. Editor Vic Newton made mention of this as part of her speech on the night, passing on Gordon's reason for not attending. She informed the crowd, including Dan, that Smart was a no-show because he said he'd never want to be in the same postcode, let alone the same room with Dan Wooten, or to quote her exactly, that bunt Dan Wooten. So I guess that's like a little I guess that's a little pet name for Dan Wooten. Bunt, like bunt cake. Yes, they wouldn't want to be near that bunt. Right, bunt. So that's my redacted version of it, bunt. Uh, see what I did there? Thank you. I thought it would be more discreet to say bunt. At least it rhymes, right? Would not want to be in the same postcode, let alone the same room with Dan Wooten. So, um, yeah, there you go. So, I'm sure he's been called worse. And I'm sure all of it is as close to the actual character as possible. So, yeah. All right. Okay. I was getting nervous. I made it through there. Didn't want to, you know. Okay. So, there you go. That was to let you know that at least it is common knowledge with anyone who's ever. With anyone who's ever met him or worked with him or who's been near him. Um, yes. Okay. So, right here, protection of Dan Wooten. So, this article is about the fact that Dan Wooten seems to be greatly protected. As it says here, British press has largely sat on its hands while Byline Times has revealed most serious media scandal for years. The most serious media scandal for years. Oh, you like that? Bunt cake, bunt. Okay, the event of the past 2 weeks have been hugely instructive about how politics and media really work in the UK. Byline's major revelation about GB News presenter Dan Wooten, which began 10 days ago, have driven huge interest in both the UK and US, with our reporting reaching millions of people on our website and across social media. Well, it goes on to say, yet despite the huge amount of evidence we have already published on Wooten and the incredibly serious nature Okay, I just saw a news bulletin. Let me see what that says. Eagles co-founder Randy Meisner has died at 77. That's the band, the Eagles, right? The Eagles co-founder. Oh, that's sad. I like their music. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, if you're a fan of the group, the Eagles, one of the founding members, it looks like, has passed away. Yet, despite the huge amount of evidence we have already published on Wooten and incredibly serious nature of our revelations, the story has been largely ignored by most of the rest of the UK press, with honorable exception of The Guardian, which has revealed some of the details of their own investigation into Wooten, and Private Eye, which this week confirmed much of our reporting and revealed that News UK have offered 24-hour counseling support to members of the staff who believe they have been targeted by him. Most of the British press has refused to so much as touch the story. Even after the House of Commons Culture, Media and Sports Committee wrote to The Sun this week about the scandal, their relatively little pickup, with the BBC devoting one short paragraph to it in the middle of a much longer report about Hugh Edwards. Evidence of Byline Times reporters being threatened and targeted after publication of our story has also received little coverage beyond a single report on Yahoo News. So, what's going on here? And why does the British press appear so reluctant to shine a light into this particular dark corner of the industry? Your guess is as good as mine. Now, one man can use Coots Bank millions now using food banks, which gets the most coverage, which gets most government intervention, which gets the speediest action. One country is broken. I'm sorry, this country, listen to me, this country is broken. Well, what she's referring to, and I decided to redact her name, though she seems to be a very public person, this is a smoke screen. This is smoke and mirrors. They have spent a morbidly curious amount of time talking about that monstrous Nigel Farage. I mean, that face that only a California condor mother could love. I mean, that face, that if you were able to take a drone and fly it and hover it over a condor nest, and you went to look inside at the little hatchlings, when you got close enough to peer inside the nest, I promise you, everything that hatched in that nest would look just like Nigel Farage. I mean, I saw a picture of him when he was a child. I don't know what happened to him. He is ugly. I mean, that is just the ugliest. You know, they always say, you shouldn't call people ugly. He is ugly. I mean, a beast. That is a beast. That anybody looks at him and think he a credible person is beyond me. What a monster. I mean, the characterizations of him and the actual photographs, I cannot tell one from the other. A beast, an absolute beast. It's like something that hatched and it's all sticky with the remnants of the yolk sac, and ugh, what a monster. That's why they didn't want him banking at Coots. They didn't want him walking up to the window. They were running out of people willing to wait on him. I mean, he walks up to the teller and the teller just collapses from fear, especially when he smiles. So that was deliberately cruel. I cannot stand him. I cannot stand this individual. This monster was so instrumental in the Brexit. So instrumental in the Brexit with his lies and deceptions. And look at how many people are suffering because of him. What a monster. Ugly inside and out. Just a beast. Okay, I got that out of my system. Under the Conservatives, the UK is set to have the lowest growth in the G7 next year. You know who's responsible for that? This monster, among others. Among others, he's not alone. There's also, Boris Johnson and a few other people. But take those Tories and shove them. Revealed the record number of households in the UK depending on food banks. Well, this article from February of 2023, almost 90% of food banks see increased demands as organizers fear having to cut support or turn people away. Courtesy of that monster. More people are depending on food banks than ever before in Britain. New figures show as ever-increasing numbers of households, including pensioners, NHS staff, and teachers. That really breaks my heart. Pensioners, NHS staff, and teachers seek help amid the cost of living crisis. That's heartbreaking. That is really heartbreaking. Like I said, a monster, an absolute monster. Baron, you're more upset about the UK's economy than the people of the UK. Well, Church Nelly, you know how I am. I guess I cannot let it go because it bothers me. It really does bother me. It does, because the people in the UK, just like any place else, especially people, nurses, NHS staff, medical workers. I mean, you're working for the medical field. You should not be going hungry. You should not have to resort to a food bank. And the teachers who have to learn hand-to-hand combat before they can get their teacher's license, and the pensioners, I mean, it really is, it determines what kind of society we are by how we treat the meek and the weak among us. And someone who has worked their whole life, raised a family, and they can't cut the heat on at night. They have to go or should I say, can't cut it on in the daytime, and hopefully they can have heat at night. Yeah, it bothers me. It really does, especially when it's all predicated on lies. The whole thing was lies and deception. And it's the same as I felt about the Republicans with their lies, all of the people that are not here anymore because they would not even concede to wearing a mask, to following some little, I saw Republicans, Americans here in the United States, Republicans who went to a dinner in spite of the science, listening to Trump. And then next thing you know, 10 people that sat at the Thanksgiving dinner, now there's only 7 of them. Now there's only 7. And they still voted for him. I saw this guy on CNN. He still voted. They said, well, with all of this, are you still going to vote for Trump? Well, I haven't. Yeah, that means yes. That means yes. They were listening to him. And I have heard this over and over again of people who just did not believe this was real. And now they're no longer here. That makes me angry. Oh, that makes me angry. So, Ewan Rowan interview. The Prince of Wales is an archaic title. Get rid of it. Okay, that's all I have to say. This young actor who is Welsh said what a lot of people are saying, including Michael Sheen, the one who played Tony Blair in The Queen. get rid of it. As a matter of fact, Michael Sheen has even gone further, saying that there ought to be an independent Wales. Now, the Welsh are not as inclined to embrace independence as Scotland, and of course, that may change in time. But one of the things that they've had enough of is the title Prince of Wales. The title is one of subjugation. The title is one of ruling with an iron hand. The very last Welsh-born Prince of Wales, and Wales was a principality, the last Welsh-born Prince of Wales was actually killed by the British, and henceforth they began to name the firstborn the Prince of Wales to try to help them have more patriotic feelings toward England, to unify the two countries. So, but there's some people who just don't think that that's enough. They want to get rid of that title. So Wales doesn't need a prince, is what they said. Imagine growing up knowing you'll be made prince of a foreign country. Then imagine the arrogance required to not bother learning its language. Well, at the very least, you can say that Charles did learn the language. I mean, there's a lot of things about Charles that I will never, ever forget, ever. I won't forget it, and I won't forgive it. And that starts with Princess Diana, and it ends with his more recent shortcomings. Those are a few things that I can never forgive him for. But at least he did learn the language. He did learn the language, okay? Which is more than what you could say for his son. No, BR, the Prince of Wales title, I don't know if Wales has ever had a king, but usually when you hear a principality, like Monaco is a principality, Liechtenstein is a principality, that is a province, a region, a country that was established with the consent of the stronger ruling dynasty in another country, like the Holy Roman Emperor of Austria gave the title of the Principality of Liechtenstein to the Liechtenstein family. And even after they got rid of the what do you call? Oh, Habsburgs. Even after they got rid of the Habsburgs, they kept their title. They kept their land, which is 65 square miles in the mountains. The Austrian government was not interested in Liechtenstein. As a matter of fact, they have a strong relationship with Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein's royal family is heavily invested in Austria, because before they got rid of the Habsburgs, they never even lived in Liechtenstein. They didn't care to be there. But after the war, they decided to go back to Liechtenstein and govern it properly. And so that's a principality. So when you have a principality, it's usually because it was consent or agreed upon, a treaty or whatever. But, instead of having a king next door, everybody feels better if there's a prince next door. So I think it kind of goes like that. But Elaine or a few other people could probably answer that better than I can. But no, there was an independent Wales, but they were not as strong, and they really could not ever defeat England. And so after lots of battles and fights and stuff like that, and I think what happened is that England had a treaty with them, and then they reneged on the treaty, especially when they killed the Prince of Wales. I would say that means that they wanted their independence. They've always wanted to be independent. And England did not want that. They didn't want the competition, and they wanted more territory and more people to tax. So they took it over. And then I forgot what year it was, but henceforth, the firstborn would be named Prince of Wales. So there you go. Oh, did he? I think I read that before. But yes, thank you for sharing that. Michael Sheen, who played Tony Blair, who is Welsh, he did return his OBE. So, yeah, people are waking up to it. All right, so right here, is that Baby to Baby? Okay, Baby to Baby. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex joining our back to school distribution in 2020 to provide school pupils clothing, hygiene items, food, and more to children in need of these basic essentials. Now, they posted this, and I don't know if that means that they are going to be a part of another drive like this. I didn't see anything further than that. I saw it, and I'm just like, okay, that's nice. And then I'm like, is this an old post? I don't remember. I couldn't tell you. But maybe it means that in the very near future, you'll see the Sussexes doing their thing again, especially as the Sussex children grow older. Oh, Gail, Anita, thank you so much for that. I had merely planted a seed with the limited knowledge that I have. But no, I saw that somewhere and I thought it was very interesting. But yeah, and the Principality of Monaco, it was the King of France who made that possible. They gave consent to the Grimaldis to keep their country. I mean, at any given time, the French could have just taken Monaco. But it's such a small city state, they weren't interested in it. And so, just like with Liechtenstein, you got this little country perched on a rock near the Mediterranean Sea or at the Mediterranean Sea. So they didn't want it. But according to law, if there was ever a time when there was no Prince of Monaco, then Monaco would become part of France. So that is like a law or an agreement or some kind of treaty that they have with France. But at any given time, France could have just took Monaco. It wouldn't have been anything they could do about it. And the Grimaldis, of course, that's an Italian name. But the Grimaldi family took Monaco. I think it was just like one of their ancestors stormed the palace with a sword. I mean, and just took over. Just took it. Okay, and next. Suits set record for library shows on streaming charts. The Bear has another strong week, becoming the second Hulu show to top 1 billion minutes of viewing. Okay, I don't care about that one. The former USA Network series set a viewing time record for an acquired series in the week of June 26th through July the 2nd. Suits had 3.14 billion. Remember, it was like 2.7? 3.14 billion minutes of watch time, according to Nielsen, easily surpassing previous mark of 2.49 billion minutes of Manifest before it became the Netflix original in June of 2021. The show became available on Netflix in June 23rd. It also streamed on Peacock. A huge tally for Suits dwarfed the two other shows that topped the 1 billion minute mark for the week. The debut of The Witcher's third season, Netflix pushed the show 1.31 billion minutes of viewing. I don't care about those other ones. All right, so that's that one. I'm so petty. I don't care about them other ones. And then here's another one from TV Line. Suits set records atop Nielsen overall streaming chart. The Witchers, I'm tired of The Witchers. Leads top 10 original. I don't care about that. I don't don't care about that. I just want to know about Suits. Suits is a second in his second week of Netflix availability, smashed the record on Nielsen's latest U.S. ranking of streaming programs for the week of June 29th. The USA Network's Blue Sky entry amassed 3.1 billion minutes viewed on Netflix and Peacock combined. For its library of 136 episodes, marking a Nielsen streaming chart record for an acquired title. Manifest held the previous record with 650 million minutes viewed. And akin to its last week's stat, 75% of Suits viewing was generated by just the first 3 seasons, meaning it will continue to dominate the overall streaming charts with included acquired series, movies, and whatnot for weeks to come. I love it. I love it. And that's going to be more people watching The Duchess of Sussex. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, I know they are not happy at all. But anyway, that's the way it goes. I'm pretty sure they're incandescent with rage, and I'm pretty sure that at least one of those people over there, as we speak, is probably spinning around and frothing at the mouth and waving the wig high in the air like you just don't care. I'm pretty sure they are having fits. I mean, absolute fits. But Suits is going through quite the renaissance. Quite the renaissance. Okay, where did I leave off at? Oh, man. Okay, so there's that. And then what? Another article. Suits breaks Nielsen streaming record for acquired programming. The Bear hits 1 billion minutes viewed in a week. Suits is proven to be a top performing something Netflix and Peacock's. The USA Network series saw an impressive 3.1 billion viewing minutes during the week of June 26th through the July the 2nd across the 2 streaming services, according to Nielsen latest streaming data that marked a 36% increase in viewership from the week prior. And another week atop the Nielsen streaming charts. This is usually high viewing time for unusually high viewing time for an acquired series and breaks the record for an acquired series in one measurement week. Though one more time. Though there have been several, including Manifest in the Office, that have tallied plenty of weeks with over 1 billion viewing minutes after landing on the streaming platform. None have managed to perform quite so well. According to Nielsen, Manifest previously, I don't care nothing about all that. But yes, I don't care about them other ones. Anyway, congratulations to the Duchess of Sussex and Patrick J. Adams and the rest of the crew over there at Suits, wherever you are. Congratulations. You deserve it. And in particular, congratulations to the Duchess of Sussex for being able to be a part of that team through talent and determination. And of course, we here at the Sussex Squad, well, you know how we are. At the Sussex Squad, we are ride or die, ride or die. Yeah, we are your number one ride or die. Okay, so there you go. My face is hurting. I'm grinning so much. I love it. I love it. What did you expect? What did you expect? The show has all the right ingredients. It is one of the best shows on television that I have not watched yet, but I am going to watch it soon. I promise. I am going to watch it soon. Now, scary news, you guys. I am so upset about this. The sexiest man alive, well, we nearly lost him. We nearly lost the sexiest man alive. Mitch McConnell had a spell, as they say. He had a bit of a spell. As you know, some years ago, Mitch McConnell was able to make it to the cover of People magazine as the sexiest man alive. The article was devoted to him with things like twin brothers. Senator Mitch McConnell's reunite at last with his twin brother. You can see there, that's that little turtle from the Bugs Bunny cartoon. And of course, got Viagra. That was something to do about an ad campaign featuring Mitch McConnell. And then the truth about being racist, he is a racist. That is the truth. And then, of course, Mitch McConnell, sexiest man alive, well, it's so glaringly obvious. Nude model rumors, afraid of Trump, you bet. Obamacare, but he would rather watch you die. And if you were able to get a copy of this magazine, it only costs $6.66. That's right, $6.66. You know what you can do with that savings? You can go and get some teeth whitener. Yeah, you can go and get some of that Rembrandt toothpaste and whiten your teeth. So, yeah, that's Mitch McConnell. He was at the lectern talking about something, the string of something. And he said a string of something. And next thing you know, he just locked up. So we don't know what happened, but we'll keep him. Ooh, that scared me. But we'll keep him in our prayers. I mean, we're all God's children, even if we are capable of some of the most racist policies this side of the Mason-Dixon line, even if we're capable of some of the most racist policies, he is still one of God's children. Now, someone wrote on the Twitter, I'll tell you this, none of us like Mitch McConnell because of the horrible things he said and done as senator, but he had a medical incident today, and I saw a lot of well wishes on our side, as it should be. But when Senator John Fetterman, who is pictured here, had a medical episode, there were legions of Republicans, American Republicans, who made fun and mocked him. We are not the same. We are not the same. So there you go. That was cruel and it was mean-spirited, but that's exactly what happened is they mocked him and made fun of him. So fair is fair, but we're not going to do that to Mitch McConnell because we are way too sophisticated for that. So we are just going to, wish him well, try to figure out where he hides his bourbon and forget about it. Got to take care of him one way or the other. I'm sure he's going to get exactly what he's got coming. And Joe Biden actually called Mitch McConnell to, to check in on him and see how he was doing because Joe Biden is a very compassionate man. He doesn't harbor malice in his heart. He's a very compassionate man. So he did wish that old Dixie person anyway, that's that. So Auntie Maxine Waters, Auntie Max, was there to unveil the John Lewis postage stamp. If you haven't gotten them yet, you got to hurry up before they're all gone. The official John Lewis postage stamp, which I think is just beautiful. And speaking of just beautiful, here is an computer-generated image of the President of the United States with his collectible Corvette. As you can see, he may be in the twilight of his years or whatever, but he is still strong and courageous. I am not going to make an issue of his age. So long as everything's going my way, I really don't care. And 75 years ago yesterday, President Truman, 75 years ago today, which was yesterday, ordered desegregation of the United States Army Forces, crucial historic day that American school children should know. That's right. A Democrat president by the name of Harry S. Truman was the one who ended segregation in the United States military. President Truman wipes out segregation. Now, if you are not familiar, this is the Chicago Defender newspaper, world's greatest weekly paper. It only cost 10 cents. It was printed in Chicago. The Chicago Defender was one of the handful of African-American owned and operated newspapers in the United States, this one being one of the more famous, that really have kept a history of the African-American community ever since the first day it was published. Now, as you can see, some of the language that's used, you can tell this is from the 1940s. Rumors, Negroes will resist, scatter, mob, save this paper. It makes history. Well, of course it does. And even at that time, the Chicago Defender was aware of their place in history. Now, I believe they have partnered with a university to archive their vast collection of stories and photographs, which is a good thing because I'm telling you guys, the Chicago Defender is a major portion of African American history. And that information should never be lost. It should be archived and used to remind us of where we come from. Now, right here, President Truman wipes out segregation in armed forces. He used an executive order. As a matter of fact, not only that, Truman addressed the NAACP. The United States military integrated 75 years ago, but apologies are still in order. This is an article, I believe it was in the Washington Post, was it? But, she don't want people to forget that a lot of those Black soldiers that fought and died for the United States, like with the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre, a lot of them were killed. A lot of them were killed because they were in their uniform. They saw a Black man in his uniform and they thought he was too proud and too sure of himself. And believe me, in a lot of cases, they were. I mean, they had fought for this country, and you're going over to Europe to help make sure that they're free, and you don't even have freedom at home. And so Harry Truman, it wasn't only, and right here, 29 June 1947, Harry Truman addresses the NAACP. Now, as you can see, it's at the Washington Monument. And this was the first time that a sitting United States president had ever addressed the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP. They never changed the name, even though the term colored people have gone out of fashion. They have never changed their name. But yeah, that is, oh, you noticed that, huh? The Buffalo Soldiers. Sure was. There you go. But yeah, so this was a very, very important moment when Truman addressed the crowd. And Eleanor Roosevelt, even though Franklin Roosevelt had died back in 1945, Eleanor Roosevelt stayed in service to her country for the rest of her life. And believe me, a lot of the civil rights, and by the way, they say that the what do you call it? Integrating the military. They say that was one of the first big gestures in the history of this country when it comes to civil rights. That was a biggie. And that is why Truman won his term as president. Now, he took office because he was vice president to Franklin Roosevelt, but he won an election on his own. You know, when they would count votes, they never counted Black people. And Harry Truman said, listen, if you vote for me, I am going to desegregate the military, or you know what I mean. But and so Black people did vote for him. Those Black people that they took for granted, the posters, they voted for Truman, and he won. He became president in his own right. So, yeah, there you go. Wipes out segregation. So in his speech, he did point out how important it was, that moment. Now, right here, I just want you to see this presidential civil rights record, 45 to 74. Harry Truman, anti-lynching law, voter protection. Those are our proposals, by the way. End discrimination in military, interstate travel, and government hiring. End poll tax. Create his actions. Create civil rights committee. First president to address NAACP. Desegregated the armed forces. Reduce government job discrimination. Civil rights program blocked by Congress. Those were his comments. Let's see. Won African Americans to Democrat Party. This is when the African Americans switched over to Democrat. They already were voting for Roosevelt, but they really made the big switch with Truman. And let's see, alienated the South, Strom Thurmond Dixiecrat revolt. And that's when, of course, a lot of the Southern Democrats became Republicans. They started becoming Republicans. So that is just a little snapshot of the civil rights movement with the presidents from that period. And of course, Harry Truman, a major player. So there you go, guys. That is Harry S. Truman in the White House with his wife, Bess, and his daughter, what's her name? And of course, let's not forget, this is the man who saved the economy after George Bush ruined it. And with that, you guys, thank you very much for watching Royal Sussex. And thank you to the moderators for keeping, didn't mean to do that, for keeping this a safe space. And thank you for your very generous contributions, always appreciated by Royal Sussex. Thank you for the Patreon, the Cash App, PayPal, the Venmo, and of course, those who have the monthly, what do you call it? Thank you for that. So, as per usual, we will end with our queens as soon as I find them. What did I do with our queens? All right. Excuse me. Not what I'm looking for. There we go. There's our queens. There's our queens. The moms of the most popular royal couple in the world. Okay. Oh, thank you, Black Queen. Thank you very much. Yeah, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, ooh, I got to share that today. All right. Well, let me see. I am going to look for the last word. Something profound, something that unites all of us, something that brings us together in fellowship. Okay, Lady Metatron says, good night, all. Okay, that is as profound as it gets. I love it. Thank you so much. And with that, you guys, I'm losing my voice, so I better go. I don't know what's happening with my voice, but I'm starting to sound like Bonnie Raitt, and it's getting on my nerves. Let's give them something to talk about. How about love? See what I mean? I'm getting that Bonnie Raitt voice. I feel so foolish. I never noticed. You get so nervous. Could you be falling for me? It took the rumors to make me wonder. Now I'm convinced I'm falling for you. Think about you every day. Dream about you every night. I'm hoping that you feel the same way. Now that you know it, let's really show it, darling. Let's see what I mean? My voice is getting weird. Let's give them something to talk about. I love that song. Dansby, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Let's give them something to talk about, baby. A little mystery to figure out. Let's give them. Now I got to go listen to that song. Right? I love me some Bonnie Raitt. I love me some Bonnie Raitt. Got to give them something to talk about. Okay. So I better drink some tea or something because my voice is going fast. I don't know what happened. I think it's the humidity, the weather, the humidity. I think that's what's doing it to me. It's really doing me in, my sinuses and stuff. Little post-nasal drip. That's my way of saying, gosh, I'm getting old. All right, so love you guys. See you next time. And let me see. I got to check on something before I go. Let me take a look. No, okay, that's not it. All right. All right. I had my suspicions, but no. Okay, I will see you guys next time. And I'm going to cue the Ginger Avenger. And might be a little late tomorrow. Maybe 6 o'clock-ish Central Time. We'll see. Okay, love you. I will see you. I don't even know how to love you, but I'm ready to learn. To fall in love, yes, to fall in love right now. I don't even know how to love you, but I'm ready to learn. Yes, I'm ready to learn. That's my jammy jam. Okay, good night.